Back, Warriors, again with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2. Once again, thank you for all the subscriptions. Once again, thanks to some of my friends in India. I'm always suggesting different types of channels. The one channel, the Brahmacharya Vlogs, Prince Bali, I think the name is. Very good. Go ahead and do that and look at that. Give you some more information. It's always a matter of learning, my friends, no matter how old you are. Never stop learning. Never stop learning about things that are around you. Continue to grow. Have your goals, things you want to achieve. Never let other people stop you. You're going to have a lot of people who are going to try to stop you for one reason or another, and we'll talk about that in a second. But before we do that, topic is going to be in order to succeed, you must do this, and this is going to be called repetition and continuous behavior, repeating the same behavior. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and let's get on with our show here. So we're talking about this idea, and why do people fail on their journeys or fail on their goals and fail on things they're doing. And we're going to talk, I think the next episode I'm going to do on transmutation and succeeding, because retention is not the only thing. Retention is a good start. You can control things, you can use that, and it's going to provide a lot of benefits. But to really succeed, you've got to have other habits. And the key word, my friends, is habit. You have to form a habit. It takes about 21 days or so to form a habit, good or bad. So if you're drinking, you drink it for 21 days straight, it's going to be very difficult to stop that. If you're doing drugs or you're doing something else, that's going to be stopping that. On the other hand, if you're fasting or you're doing a different type of thing where you're stopping smoking, you're stopping doing drugs, you're stopping drinking, then you can do that. But that's what's so tough, because you know people who in AA and other places that struggle because they're not able to go past 3 or 4 days. And of course, our retention journey, getting to 21 days is not very easy. So it takes a lot of strength at the beginning, because you're going to be pulled in a lot of directions because you're so used to the habit that you formed. In my case, in many, many years of that kind of stuff back and forth, it was a struggle to get that. But this is why it's important for me to stay on my course now at 400, almost 60 days, because I want to keep that habit. And though you may relapse, and that, there's nothing wrong with that, you don't want to ever lose the fact that you've changed your habit, changed your lifestyle. Repetition is important. Everything we learn, my friends, is repetition. It's through repetition. You can look at your studies in school, and a lot of you are in school. Some of my younger viewers, you're still in school. I teach at school. A lot of that is repetition. You're trying to do the right behaviors over and over again. When I played football on the practice field, we used to practice all the time. Now, why do you practice? Well, you're practicing because you want to get it right. When the time the game comes around or the test comes around in the school, you're going to be able to do a good job. You're going to be able to continue to be ready and prepared for anything that happens. And the reason why you practice is because you continue to look at things that could happen in situations. When people go in NASA, when they go up for go into space, they're practicing every day for any kind of situation that could happen to be prepared for. And obviously, the more you prepare, the better off you're going to be. And that's kind of the key to a lot we're talking about. Being prepared for anything that happens to you. And I think that part of that is repeating good behaviors. So once again, repeating the same behaviors of success is crucial. What you want to do is stay away from behavior. So if you're working out, work out on a continuous schedule where it's 2-3 times a week. Eating the right types of food, build a habit doing that. The same thing with fasting. The same thing with any sort of mental types of skills you use, or physical types of skills you use. Build a habit of doing that. Repetition is key. Now, you may think that's very simple. Well, a lot of times it's not, because what ends up happening is people consciously or subconsciously distract you away from that. You could be doing something and you're distracted, right, from a television show or something on the internet. You're getting away from your purpose. And that's what happens when people start going into the other going the other way because they get off their thing. If you start eating the wrong foods, you have some donuts and then you have 2 donuts and the next day you have another donut. All of a sudden now you're building a habit the other way. So that's why they always say, in the Bible always says, in moderation, because moderation, you're not forming a bad habit. Once in a while, there's nothing wrong with this, nothing wrong with, having a beer. And actually, from a nutritional standpoint, we'll talk about that a little bit later. It's always good to shock your body every so often to do that. But when we're talking about things, it's very important to be able to be moderation. Never do too much, all the time. And the thing is, you want to build a habit of self-control so that you continue to control what you're doing, and you understand that. And so when it comes to good behaviors, you want to be that way. But you're going to have people who are going to try to stop you one way or the other. They may be negative people who are giving you a negative time and criticizing you, or to be able to say things that are going to try to be mean to you. Don't let that stop you. Continue building the habit. Once again, to stay strong in your beliefs, stay strong that you're not going to go back and switch again and do something. One example is that I had a beard a while back, and I went back with it thinking, well, I had to have it, not having a beard for so long, 57 years, that I felt I was going to feel more comfortable going back to it. Well, for some reason on this journey, I just feel like that I should have a beard. And maybe it's because of the hair growth is stronger, or maybe it's those type of things, but the habit is coming back again now, as you can see, as I'm starting to get some hair back and trying to grow a beard back. And a lot of it really comes down to how you're feeling. And if you're feeling stronger, feel like that you can form habits that are good, then you don't need to worry about those other types of things. Don't worry about what people say. Some people like the beard, some people didn't like the beard, but you got to move on and do the thing you think is right. And the same thing with everything. Everything in society now, we're kind of polar, in different viewpoints of things. You have to kind of be strong in your viewpoint and believe that things will work themselves out. And as I talked about in one of the other videos, you have to make decisions abruptly and only change them slowly. And that's kind of the key to a lot of it. But a lot of it comes back down to repetition. And no matter if you're sitting up in a baseball diamond, you're looking at pitches, and you keep swinging and swinging and swinging. You got to keep swinging, right? Keep swinging, keep practicing. You're not going to always succeed. You look at baseball, and a 300 hitter is actually a good hitter in baseball. What does that mean? Well, that means they're getting a hit 3 out of 10 times, which means they're also failing 7 times. You look at quarterbacks in the NFL, the ones that have gone to the Hall of Fame, allowed them to throw more interceptions than touchdowns. So failure is not a negative thing. It's just part of learning. And as I'm reinventing myself now at 60 years old, you're going through some good times and some challenges, and some things are working, some things are not working, and you have to continue to go with that and keep trying to improve. And reinventing yourself, I think that's a good thing. I'm actually going to write that down for a comment here, but I think you have to kind of always reinvent yourself. Now, for those who are younger, that is not something that you have to worry about all this time. But for us who are a little bit in the 60s and those type of things, there's always an opportunity. You're going to be changing your vocation several times through your lifetime, and you want to continue to reinvent yourself for the modern times, and also because you have different likes and passions. I've always wanted to do this type of videos. I've always wanted to kind of have a vehicle to talk to people and try to help young people in this case. And for some reason, because I'm on my journey, I felt like this is the time to do it. So I think that once again, building the habit of doing that, I've done a number of these videos, and we're going to start getting better technology and different things like that, and try to show more technology that we have right now. Those type of things are getting better. But once again, it's a habit, right? And if you form a good habit, which seems like I'm getting a lot of positive feedback, which is nice, and I think that you guys keep subscribing and giving information and telling me what topics to focus on. I had a good question from one of us talking about nightfall, which I think is like what dreams. Well, and I'll do one on that one as well. And this reinventing, I think, is also a good idea too. So anyway, back to our regular topic. Repeat. Continue to build good behaviors, and you will get good results. So good behaviors, good habits, form good results. Bad habits form bad results. So until next time, warriors, once again, subscribe, like, comment. Until next time, battle on.